Nerds and geeks back at it again. It is the legendary Nerd-O-Roundtable. Yours truly, King Nerdificent Twala Sharp in the building. Alongside, man, he is back. We haven't seen this jolly face in quite a while. Twitch Master McBain. What is up, brother?
And writer-director McBain
and
as
writer-director of the stellar AI series Cockeyed. Trust me, you got to get a bar. This no holds barred rooster is kicking ass and taking names, and I love every bit of it. Your cinema is peak. It is peak, McBain. Yes, I cannot wait for the public to really get a taste. Mo Kelly in the building. What it is, good sir?
What's upper?
And Tom is talking Cunningham.
Team Light Skin.
I know that Dr. Liz will be joining us soon. And on the Team Light Skin tip, we have discussed this before. When the casting for Jon Stewart was first announced for the James Gunn Lantern series, and it was revealed that Aaron Pierre, someone who we had just seen in a series on, what was it, Mo? Was that HBO Max or Netflix?
No, Netflix.
Okay, so we just saw him really getting in his Netflix series. It was great, or movie. It was great. And we said, oh, okay, you're casting him. All right, well, this is going to kick up a lot of dust. And now, all these months later, we have finally seen the trailer for Lanterns, which I think is stellar. I think the Lanterns trailer is exactly what they promised, a gritty, no holds barred, basically cop series. The Green Lantern Corps are intergalactic police officers. That's what they do. And this series sets the Lantern series with the introduction of Jon Stewart, with a surly, foul-mouthed Hal Jordan, and they are trying to solve an Earthbound mystery. And from my understanding, we are going to get Green Lanterns galore, even though it doesn't seem like that in the trailer. There are all of the favorites that are going to be in this series. We're going to see Sinestro. Hell, even Guy Gardner will be making an appearance in this series. But in our individual thread, it seems to have kicked up some dust. And so we are going to let McBain kick this off, because McBain brought up some points about the casting of Mr. Aaron Pierre as Jon Stewart. McBain,
hey, before Ryan jumps in, Ryan, could you please give some context about colorism? We can't assume everyone knows where you're going with this.
True.
Well, basically, the origin of Jon Stewart, the character, the creator of the basically said that when he making him, he wanted him to be dark skinned, like dark. And he even, like, the creator even got pushback from DC, saying, like, "You sure you want him to be looking that way?" And the creator's like, "Yeah, I want him to be dark because representation matters." So he had to fight for that. So that's one of the key things I was really kind of scratching my head, that James Gunn, even though Aaron Pierre is a great actor, I think the show's gonna be great. I'm very, very excited. I'm like, when I saw that trailer, I'm like, yes, I just let me get into this. But I think it's a topic that should be brought up, because James Gunn isn't like an idiot. He's a comic book nerd. He knows like the origin of the character. Even when people like question him about why he's doing certain things, people are questioning him about Supergirl. Like, oh, why is she a drunk? He's like, well, don't you read comics? Right. It's because this, and that. So I personally think and feel that James Gunn made the decision just because, you know, he's doing a older version of Hal Jordan. Okay, well, people aren't happy about that. It seems like Hal Jordan is passing the torch on to Jon Stewart. People aren't happy about that. So I think James Gunn probably feels, now this is just my opinion, I could be totally way off base. I personally feel that, you know what, let's get someone who's light-skinned, so he looks less threatening, less like, so it makes people less uncomfortable with it. I really think if they made Jon Stewart like Charlie Murphy black, like darkness, people would have been like more upset with it. I think it's going to be great, but it's something that maybe like scratch my head when about that casting. The reason why I think that a lot of people are talking about it is because, let's be honest, there aren't a lot of black superheroes to begin with, or well-known black superheroes, and there are even less black superheroes that are shown on TV and in movies. So when you see someone who's, you know, the origin of the character is supposed to be dark skin, and people are like really excited, and then they see him on the screen, he goes, "Oh, I thought the character was going to look like me." Oh, so that's why I think there's a little bit of pushback. Is it the end of the world? No. Aaron Pierre's a great actor. The show is going to be great. But yeah, I think it's something that should be discussed, and that's like what I was talking about in our group chat.
Hey, Ryan.
Yeah.
Let me ask this, and let me just play the other side of this. What if James Gunn said, "I hear you, I understand, but I'm picking from a small cadre of actors who could fill the role, who have some name recognition and can add some cachet, and have to be young enough because he's playing opposite an older Kyle Chandler / Hal Jordan, and there are a lot of boxes to check within that Jon Stewart formulation, and Aaron Pierre was on a short list of maybe 3 or 4 people, and it turns out that he's maybe not as dark as the original character was designed."
I just find it hard to believe that he couldn't find a dark-skinned actor to play the character.
No, I'm quite sure they could. I'm talking about a degree of name recognition, and Aaron Pierre has an audience behind him. You know, I'm not so sure Damson Idris from F1 could play this role. I'm not so sure. In fact, I know like an Idris Elba is too old to play this role.
Yes.
There are some age considerations in here as well.
Aldris Hodge, I think, would have been a great Jon Stewart.
Let me just real quick before Captain, before as you put it out there, Team Light Skin, before you jump in, Tom, because I know you want to get a bite at this light skinnedness.
I know, Tom.
I would say this, that for James Gunn, the very first superhero that he put out there, and someone as far as African American superheroes that he put out into the world, and someone that absolutely stole the show and is the most memorable character from his first launch of the DC universe, was Mr. Terrific, a very dark-skinned black man who basically was telling everyone to kiss his ass. And so I don't think he has that fear of representation. I believe that James Gunn is someone who thrives on casting, on acting, and on performances. And I don't think that James Gunn is, as much as he is willing to push the limit on both social media and in his films and not give a single solitary fuck about what anyone has to say. I don't know. I just don't know if Aaron Pierre's hue played a role in his casting.
Well, you got to remember that also this Jon Stewart is taking over for an older Hal Jordan. There's going to be a passing of the torch, so I think there's a little bit of a difference. Look, it's not a huge deal. Like I said, once again, Aaron Pierre is a great actor. I think he's going to nail it, but I think there's other reasons why he was chosen. And I'm sorry, Tom. Tom, don't bite my head off. I know your team light skin. I know you're all for light skin Lantern.
I'm just waiting to have.
Go ahead, Tom. Tom, go ahead. Go ahead.
So first of all, there are other lanterns in the DCU already.
Yes.
So you've got a white lantern. There's never not going to be Guy Gardner. Mm-hmm. And secondly, there are no light-skinned cinematic or TV superheroes that are male. There aren't. Every single one. Mr. Terrific, fucking the Asgardian dark skin, Idris Elba, Aldous Hodge is Hawkman in the DCU, so you can put him off the list. Damson
in the old DCU, in the old
that
DCU.
Doesn't matter. He's still identified with a part. You're not going to see that much recasting within James Gunn, and if James Gunn is even going to be in charge next week, who knows?
Lobo, but I mean, there's recasting.
No, there is recasting, but they're not going to put Aldous Hodge in it because that movie flopped as far as they're concerned. It didn't perform well. So they're not going to put Aldous Hodge, who was Hawkman, in as a Green Lantern. You're just not going to do it. Damson Idris is queued up to be Black Panther, so he's off the table.
Yes.
And Wesley Snipes, who played a black superhero. And let's be clear, as a fan of the Jon Stewart comic books, Jon Stewart was never Wesley Snipes or Charlie Murphy Black. Never.
Not on the pages of the comic. No.
They didn't have ink for that. So he was always brown skin. I'm being serious.
No, I hear you.
You did not have light-skinned black people represented in comics. If it was a black character, he was clearly visibly black, and that meant brown skinned or whatever you want to call it. But it was not, you didn't have a bunch of coal black people. Even Black Panther, they had to blacken and blue his hair to make it differentiated from his skin.
That is true.
His skin was brown. So all I'm saying is that there are so many. You replaced light-skinned Terrence Howard with Don Cheadle.
Man.
There just isn't. All of Wakanda. You had that one light-skinned Dora Milaje.
Dude, I remember that shit too.
You had that one. Everybody else is chocolate dipped.
I still need answers on her.
Listen, I don't have a problem with any of it. All I'm saying is that the idea that black people, especially black superheroes, when you consider the landscape of comic book characters, if anything, on TV and in movies, black superheroes are overrepresented because you don't have a team movie that doesn't have a black person in it. You just don't. And there are decades of comic books that didn't have black characters. Now it's obligatory. Just like when JLU came on, it was Jon Stewart. You didn't even see Hal Jordan. They just replaced Hal Jordan with Jon Stewart. And by the way, he was knocking down White Hawk Girl. So I just don't see that is the thing. I know that Aaron Pierre caused a few ruffles. I will go out on a limb and say maybe he hired him because his eyes is halfway green anyway. So he saved it on the FX budget. So all I'm saying is that he is black. There's nobody who's white who doesn't see him as black. And so just like me, I'm black. When I walk out in public, nobody's saying, oh, that guy is passing. No, I'm black. So I just don't think that level of colorism, it matters on the feminine side because men objectify women. And so they still hew to the European beauty standard. But as far as women are concerned, chocolate is the fantasy. And so if you're selling black, then that's what you're selling. Now, if this were not an action thing and not a superhero thing, you got the Michael Ealy's and the Regé John Pages, the Bridgerton dudes. You have those dudes as romantic leads, and romantic leads, yes, you get the Daniel Sanjadas out there who are crossover appeal. But as far as action is concerned, there are no light-skinned black superheroes. So where's my representation? You bald bastard.
Oh, damn, you light-skinned demon.
Yes, exactly.
No, Tom, you bring up great points. And by the way, my mama got green eyes. So I'm all for
you.
I don't know. I was hoping to get some of that.
Skips a generation.
Yeah,
and I don't understand how low-key you were sitting there and you ain't got no problems with this drab ass non-green Lantern uniform, and you gonna talk about light skin. This is just Dusty Lantern.
Man, look, that suit has just been in the closet.
Okay,
like,
I think there's something behind that. Hal Jordan looks beat up, old, just grumpy. I think there's something behind why that suit looks the way it looks. So let's just wait and see. I think there's something behind that.
I think his willpower would make it green. Ain't no brown lanterns.
I don't know, man.
I mean, look, we shall see. Like when the series jumps off, we'll see if he's just had it in the closet, as we saw in the trailer. It looked like they was pulling it out, like, damn it, I got to put this damn thing on again. And we will see what Jon Stewart's suit looks like, which will probably be crispy and clean, got a crease in it, and all that.
I am curious. I know in the comic they can have like a uniform they wear, or the lantern. I mean, the ring can make their own uniform. So I'm wondering why they went to that approach. I'm just curious.
I think that when I saw Hal fly away, that uniform was so drab. I thought it was his street clothes.
No. When he flew away, that was his street clothes. That was
that is his street clothes.
Yeah.
Okay, well that makes sense.
That should look clean too. Okay, anybody says.
Yeah, no. He was just flying away. That scene looks as if it was taken after the scene when he came back to, you know, the little diner, whatever he was sitting at after he dipped him off in the car, because the background looks like it's in that same location. But yeah, that was not the lantern suit.
Might I add, when the writer said about this show that it's gonna kind of be like True Detective, I was like, bullshit. I'm sick and tired of like people saying, oh, the show's gonna be like this, and that. And then I saw the trailer, I was like, oh, you weren't lying.
Yeah. Right?
Okay. Oh,
right?
okay. And like it took me like for a second there, I forgot it was a superhero show until I saw Hal flying away. I was like, oh wait, this is a lantern show. Okay. I'm with it. So I am so excited for this show, and I love the fact that Hal's an asshole. Because John's talking about, I want my ring, this and that. And he's like, oh, you think you're ready? All right, here you go. Puts the ring on the dashboard and hops out the car. I'm like, dude, you're a fucking dick.
Look, and it sets up such a great story for John Stewart coming in. You know, even when you look at some of the Lantern animated cartoons that they've dropped, where Sinestro was really before Sinestro went evil and he was still part of the Lanterns, he put Hal through some shit. He was a complete asshole. So I like how James Gunn is like, nah, we're gonna make this like, I'm the old surly cop, you're the new cop, you're the rookie, and I'm bringing you in, and my training is gonna be really rough. I love that even in the trailer they let you know full and hell well this is not a show for kids, that this is an adult series. And I love the layers that this is a show that still exists in the same universe where you have Guy Gardner Superman, Green Lantern, in that Superman world. I'm just like, this is it. This is what James Gunn said. He said, I'm not gonna have to worry about you understanding that there are differences in the things that I create, that there are differences in characters, their reasons for being a hero, and how we go about telling these stories. You're going to know each story is different. And I'm like, yeah, so far I'm with you. I just hope and pray that the Trumpers that have now taken over HBO Max, that the individuals who were on Fox News and Fox and Friends, who were just railing about Superman this and Superman that and how it was woke and blah, 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 blah. I hope that does not eke its way over into the new heads of this Trump-owned property for the most part, because, you know, the Ellisons are huge Trump supporters. That is no secret. We know that Trump himself said that he was going to have his hand in making sure this deal went through and this, that, and the other. So we'll see. We'll see if James Gunn, with who he is and how he feels about the world and politics and the like, if he will actually be able to ride this wave. I'm curious to see how this plays out. Do the Ellisons take it over and just leave it alone? Or do they come in and say, we're going to have to lay a heavy hand on your creation?
I have a question for the real comic book nerds, because I know about this from a distance. When I was looking at the trailer, it seems like they're setting it up that they're going to kill off Hal Jordan. He's going to impart all this wisdom and prepare to hand it off. And I know that Hal Jordan has died a few times in the comics. Did you get the same sense that Kyle Chandler is going to take a turn where he like they have him as Parallax, or he tries some of the yellow energy or something like that? Or am I completely off?
No, I mean, that could be a direction that they go. It absolutely could be a direction that they go, because this surly Hal Jordan could be more disenchanted with the ring, and he could be, you know, maybe aligning his thoughts a little bit more with where Sinestro went. We don't know which Sinestro we're going to be introduced to. We don't know if it's all the way full on evil yellow ring Sinestro, or if this is the manipulative, I'm on my way to betraying the Green Lantern Sinestro. And if it's the latter, then maybe this is a Hal Jordan who has seen some things and is like, you know what? Yellow might just be my thing. It very well could be. It very well could be, with the amount of pressure that they are putting on Aaron Pierre. Why would that be necessary if you were going to keep Kyle Chandler's Hal Jordan around? We'll see. It'll be an interesting take.
I got to be honest. I don't think they have the balls to kill off Hal Jordan. I think people will lose their goddamn mind.
Not on TV. I don't think they're going to do it.
Yeah.
I think you keep Hal in the pocket, because if you do find out that there's enough energy in the community to do a Lanterns film to erase the Ryan Reynolds version, then you're going to want Hal to be around. And so you've got 3 Lanterns you can work with that are Earthbound. Plus they've got, some of the humanoid Lanterns from off planet that are female Lanterns, and, blah, blah, blah. I think it doesn't make sense to kill off Hal Jordan on TV. I just don't buy it.
And even a fucking squirrel.
Yeah.
Right.
I love that drop. That was fantastic. I'm like, yes, so we are going to see Lanterns, and that is what we're waiting for. And James Gunn says, worry not, you're going to see some Lanterns. You may think that this is just going to be an Earthbound thing, but just wait, just ride with me. And I'm like, you know what? James Gunn thus far has not let me down yet.
He let me down.
Yeah, look, I know he let you down. I know you're a hater. I know the hate is coursing through your blood. And
wait, what did he let you down on, Mo?
Mo is a Superman.
Oh yeah.
Passion.
That Superman was a letdown.
Okay, well,
thank you.
For you it was, yes. I liked it.
The dog.
I liked it.
The
all
dog.
The way.
Oh.
The squirrel.
Hey, for all we know, that could have been
a lantern. That could have been the lantern.
That's gonna be the connective. Yeah, that's gonna be the crossover.
There we go.
The squirrel's gonna be in the Lantern series.
Squirrels need representation too, man. Come on.
Liz, what were your thoughts on the trailer?
I have no thoughts. Green Lantern has had such a nasty taste in my mouth that I just have to bite the bullet and hope for the best.
Now, have you only seen the movie? Did you watch any of the animated things? Any of the animated releases?
The animation is fine. I mean, but look, DC to me is all over the place. I have no positive thoughts. That's why I kept my mouth shut. Because DC is all over the place, and the things that you like, they get rid of. The things you don't like, they get rid of, and you just hope for the best.
Yeah, true that. In theaters and on the big screen and on the small screen, there was a whole lot to watch. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Movie Guy 19. Dr. Liz, you saw a movie, and I did not know that it was a Pixar film. I did not know that Hoppers was a Pixar release. I was actually shocked. Like Disney and their fanfare and promoting Pixar releases, it's kind of dying down, because it's like I forgot that it came out. So when you said you saw it and it was good, I was like, wait, the Hoppers
they had people were clapping. And people and they were I don't want to say sold out, but 75% sold out on each showing. Like I'm sitting front 2 rows was the only thing that was available for all weekend. So it was, I was surprised that it was as good as it was. Disney is doing an interesting thing where they're showing, they make you think that they're showing you too much of the trailer, too much of the story. And then you go in and you're like, wait a second, this is a fraction of what the story is about. I teared up. If you are close to a relative, like a senior relative, this is not, prepare yourself that it is going to get you. It is an up.
Wait, Hoppers?
Hoppers is the same
Pixar
thing as
swallow.
Up.
I mean, with the girl who puts her mind into the was it a beaver or whatever?
Yes, but her inspiration is her grandmother. And she spent most of her life with her grandmother because her grandmother's the one who touched her and got her into nature. So her saving this space is not just because she's in love with nature, but because it's a part of her grandmother.
Oh man, Liz, I already know.
This is
terrible. Oh, this is terrible.
I did
not grandma that. Tears. Oh,
I didn't anticipate it. I said, "Oh, I'm not ready to process this." And I thought it was so good. I was amazed at how good it was.
Is it like Pixar good? Like back to like, damn, this is the Pixar I remember
it
good?
Is another version of Up.
Wow.
And on top of that, the music. I said, now wait a second, SZA SZA is just on fire when it comes to getting. She must have a contract with Disney
I would not.
because she keeps popping up in the Disney thing, a Disney related song.
Well, it grossed 46 million this weekend with an average of 11,500 per theater. It was in 4,000 theaters, and that didn't help Scream, which had a 72% fall off from last week. But it's still at 93 million, and The Bride also was pretty soft with only a 7 million opening. Goat is at 83 with a 45% fall off, which isn't bad. Wuthering Heights had a decent fall off. Crime 101 is struggling though at only 33 million. So Disney has got to feel pretty good about this brand new property. It's no Zootopia yet, but it's certainly getting lots of good word of mouth. And if
I'm surprised that Zootopia got as Zootopia 2 was so much got as much, because I think Zootopia 1 was way better than Zootopia 2, but I'm still kind of surprised at it.
But nobody knows that. If since Zootopia 1 was such a huge hit, everybody's thinking Zootopia 2 is going to be that way, and certainly all the kids want to see it, so it's going to do big business. That's, you don't know what you're getting from a sequel, but usually with Disney, they're getting pretty good. They're getting pretty good follow through, and hell, it's at 427 million domestic, so I'm sure they're pretty happy.
I mean, that's once again, like I'm surprised because I have seen so little about this film. Period. Like I have not seen a big push for it. No real tie-ins outside of the theatrical release. So you'll see Disney doing things with other brands to help promote it. There'll be a Hopper's Happy Meal or something. I just haven't been seeing it anywhere.
And that Hopper's popcorn bucket is trash. So I left it exactly where it was. But
well, I will say, interestingly, I just did a little quick box office mojo research. The Wild Robot only opened about 13 million less than this movie, and that was a movie that didn't have any of the Pixar stuff, and that was a wonderful movie too. It was
so good.
Very much about conservationism and all of that. And Lupita Nyong'o, who I didn't even know what to expect from her, but she absolutely killed it. It doesn't completely surprise me that this did better.
And I was a puddle watching Wild Robot.
Wild Robot was great.
Oh wow, okay. I totally skipped that one. I
did too.
Wow.
No, when I tell, but you got to be ready
really
for it.
Good.
It's a very emotional driven movie, but it actually, even though it is animated, but it isn't as much for. I don't feel that it was as much for kids as much as
Wild Robot.
No.
It was not.
Yes.
No.
Huh.
It was.
Not at all.
I mean, I guess maybe
was
was it like a film that was heavy on the propaganda?
No, not that.
No.
But you know how the Iron Giant had a very clear message.
Yeah.
Wild Robot was more Iron Giant than wacky, kind of like WALL-E meets Iron Giant.
Okay.
So there was actual dialogue, unlike WALL-E, where there wasn't very much dialogue at all, because it was all and all of that, all that bullshit. But it had a message, but you don't get, because the robot is living with animal friends by itself for most of the movie. It's only when the pressure of the other robots come into it that it really the message gets really strong. But you should stream it. Absolutely stream it. It's a very, very good movie.
Yeah.
Speaking of streaming, Tom, you finished Hijack?
I did. So
wait.
That's
What's
not
happening?
good.
What's happening?
No, it's okay. So in Hijack season 1, you understood the tension. You understood the rules. They're on this plane. There's a reason why all of these things are going on, and the people who are masterminding the hijack have layers upon layers upon layers of backups and redundancies and everything else. And so, just as you think Idris has like cracked it or solved it, dun, 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 there's another person who is in the mix. And you know, the final reveal of the person, which is this woman who was basically there to crash the plane, you didn't suspect her at all, and then all of a sudden she's there, and it's another flip. Well, in Hijack 2, the stakes are a little bit less. First of all, because it's a train, and so even if it did crash, the likelihood of, you know, there's bombs, so
Okay.
people would be killed by bombs. So there's not falling out of the sky and people horribly dying and screaming and whatever. The bomb would just kill you. And then there is, of course, a tie-in to season 1, and I think the tension was ratcheted up until episode 7, and then episode 8, it kind of fell apart to me. It was kind of pat. They kind of set you up by episode 6 as to kind of what was going on. But by the time you get to the last episode, it was kind of anticlimactic because, you know, they pull into this train station and you know Idris Elba isn't going to die. And so it's like, okay, yeah, okay. It was fine. I wouldn't have not watched it. I'm happy that I finished it.
Okay, so but what's your issue with Cross season 2? Because right now, where we are in Cross season 2, I'm like, give me some more. This shit is fantastic.
Okay, so this is, and I know that you all are really up on it, and Tuala, the reason I started, why I binged all 7 of the episodes today in anticipation of this moment.
Right on.
What I will say is that I guess I kind of wish that there was an adaptation of one of the novels that I know. This appears to be a story that isn't related to any of the properties that have been written before. And
very true.
In the first season, we got a lot more of Cross being kind of a genius mastermind interrogator, you know, fucking with people's heads and stuff like that. In this movie, we get a lot more of him fucking, which is, you know, that's not a bad thing, because in the books, well, yes, in the books, he was, you know, was that dude. You know, it was a John Shaft, you know, all of that, and that's fine. And in the movies, Morgan Freeman was too old to get it on, and Tyler Perry was too Tyler Perry. So we just didn't get that. And in this one, Samson's getting it in. He's getting it in almost every episode. Even the dude she sprung out of jail, the little funny looking dude, Bobby Trey.
That part.
Bobby Trey. And Bobby Trey.
He is hilarious.
I love Bobby Trey.
I'll just say it was.
I would agree with Tom and say that I actually prefer season 1 than season 2. But that's all I have to say. I'll defer the rest to Tom.
See, let me jump in there, because I was saying in the chat, I preferred season 1 to season 2. I felt the quote unquote reveal of the serial killer in season 1 was way too early, and it did not build any intensity or tension. And there were some reveals at the end where it's like, yeah, I saw that coming, because you played that card way too early for it not to matter at the end of the season, which it did. And so I just didn't like how season 1 wrapped itself up as far as denying the serial killer, denying the serial killer the glory of going down as a great serial killer in history. That was not a payoff for me.
So the only thing I actually think I like about season 2 more is his partner's story with his mother.
With his mom.
That's more interesting to me than the major story with him chasing around this girl getting revenge. That's not as interesting to me, nor do I actually even care. But I'm more interested in seeing what's going on with the mother.
And see, I think for me with this series, the thing that I like more than anything is I like the there is a strong representation of black male emotion that I think we haven't seen on the small screen, or much less the big screen. We have not seen black actors, male black actors, as being three-dimensional, having emotion, having pain and suffering and going things, and having people that they can rely on, having brothers that they can rely on and talk to and open up to. And I think that seeing that level of just emotional vulnerability, I think seeing that for me is something that I think that's what I've been keying into most. I mean, yes, like, you know, he's getting it in and he's doing his cop thing, and he has not had an opportunity to really go into his mind and, you know, Professor X this shit like, oh, I know what's going on. No, but they're making him more cop like. But I think that there are some real emotional vulnerability that surprised me seeing on the screen, that I'm like, man, these dudes is just like, they're actually regular dudes. They're not just, I'm a cop, I'm invincible, I go and I find people and bust them and that's it. It's like, nah, like Cross and his relationship with Homegirl, the sister that he was dating from the, like, that shit is heart-wrenching for me. The realness. I'm like, did you all really date for real? Because it is painful what they are dealing with and what's been going on in his family personally. Then I'm like, this is such good writing for that, you know, beyond the homegirl being this super elusive serial killer. Even though in this last episode when she got dude on the dance floor, I was like, shit, she got his ass good.
So here's my thing. I think the thing I was missing the most, and this was kind of a hallmark of all of the Cross novels, up until, I stopped reading after a while, but the cat and mouse wasn't there. They were both really kind of philosophically, almost from episode 1, on the same side. He didn't like the billionaire. He was kind of pressed into service of the billionaire, and the billionaire is cartoonish. He wasn't sinister. You know, he was this guy. He was like the dude in Jurassic World Dominance or whatever, the guy who wanted to build super crops. He wasn't like a real villain. He wasn't sinister in any way. And so, yes, you've got this girl, but the audience sympathizes with the woman.
Yeah.
And why wouldn't you? So in the first season, even though we knew who the killer was, Cross didn't know who the killer was. And so there was still tension for the audience because he was still kidnapping people and killing them. And he was a real sadistic fuck. And then when Cross figured it out, he still couldn't pin him. And so the cat and mouse tension was maintained throughout the series. And yes, to your point, Mo, it was somewhat disappointing that the only culmination of that was that old boy wasn't going to be known as a serial killer. But at the same time, we're certainly not going to get that because the audience wants her to get away, I think. I don't know anybody who would think that they'd be on the side. I mean, he's like a foxy.
Right? Who cares about him?
Well, that's what I'm saying. And, you know,
Die.
I kind of felt bad for, well, I don't want to do a spoiler, but there's one of the bad characters that I actually felt bad for just because of the how and where that character ended up getting their justice, which was kind of, that was kind of fucked up. But other than that, it's like none of these people are sympathetic. Everybody who was murdered in the first series was sympathetic. And so it's like, oh, you're killing Epstein guys. Okay, great. Yeah, nope, I'm fine with that. Go ahead and kill another one. I don't care. I felt more sorry. The character whose death I actually felt more sorry for, and the person who actually did a hell of an acting job is the character who is involved with La Luz.
Yeah.
When that
was some fucked up shit.
That was
fucked up.
That's fucked
and
up.
I felt for that because the moment that they had, I was like, oh man, look at this. And when Auntie was like, oh no. And I said, Auntie.
Auntie was like, he's got to go. He's got to go.
Come on, man. What the hell?
Hey, look, no one stands above the mission.
Well, and so that's the last bit. I like that guy from the sci-fi series, the space thing.
The Expanse. You're talking about West Chatham.
Yeah. Him. He looks like a human Ewok to me for some reason.
Damn.
He's got this little pinched face. But he's a good guy to be that intense guy who has conflicted emotions, and he's got like a tortured past, but he's also, devoted to the woman and da 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 da. He's good at that. He's like the Jason Statham of Ewok Man revenge guys, and so I'm
Ewok
fine.
Man, dude, you're killing him. You're killing him.
I mean, I'm just saying.
He's supported what we've done, so we're gonna go easy on him.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
look,
yeah. No,
I
he's
I like him as a heavy. He's a great heavy.
No, he's good at that. No problems. I like a lot of the acting and the casting in this. I like that John Sampson has some dimensionality with the whole mother storyline. They brought in yet another child to be added to the mix. Everything about it, it's fine. It's just not classic Cross because there is no cat and mouse. And the only spoiler I will say is that they kind of set us up to believe something about Kyla, because Kyla Craig sounds almost exactly like Kyle Craig, and Kyle Craig is the behind the scenes antagonist throughout a whole lot of Cross movies. But it's not that way. They tricked us. They made us think it was going to be that way, but then it looks like it's not that way.
Well, we won't know until later
I'm gonna
on.
say it could flip. It could flip.
But right now, with the name that they have introduced, and that specific name that they have introduced, it is clear that the other woman was clearly more of the Kyle Craig type personality than Kyla.
Now, here's the thing. I think for me in this last episode, there were a lot of things that she did that made me feel that she is actually more duplicitous and has a more insidious plan in place than we know of. I think when she flipped it on her FBI director and just flipped it like a switch, she went in like, what's going on? Why me? And then all of a sudden was like, wait a minute, motherfucker. So let me show you this real quick so you can change your tune about how you're because to me, it was like she flipped a switch that I did not see in her character up until then. So I'm like, so wait a minute, have you guys just been hiding some real duplicitous craziness with this chick, that she's the mastermind of everything when we get to the end of this?
That's what I think.
I mean, except that she was pressed into a corner.
You think?
We think.
I'm just saying she had that stuff, and she definitely, there were things in episode 7 that showed a different side to her character for sure.
No. I'm sorry, I got to jump in there. But to what Tuwala is saying, I think she shows different faces relative to the person that she's manipulating. She needed to manipulate her boss to get or other people to get Bobby Trey, who's a fantastic character, out of prison to help out. She meets people where they are deficient or can provide something because she's manipulated her boss. She's manipulated Cross. She's manipulated Bobby Trey. She's manipulating right now this newer character they introduced. I don't want to say, and the newer character said, you're basically too soft to do what you're doing. You're not really about this life.
Right.
All these people have
she keeps on flipping it. Like everyone who comes at her, it's like she's like, oh my God, no, don't. And then she's like, but wait. And then all of a sudden, she keeps moving these people in the direction that she wants them to go. Bobby Trey was ready to take her out, and she's been successful at moving him and pointing him in the direction that she wants him to go. Something he even revealed, he feels like he's only ever been seen as a weapon. When he said that to her, I'm like, and it's interesting because she's continuously using him as a weapon. Saying, hey, I'm going to let you do you when this is all said and done.
The only thing I will say in terms of pushback against that is that even before we knew who Mastermind was in the books, we were seeing the sadistic aspects of the Mastermind's plans. Before we knew who it was, Mastermind was a sadist and a clearly evil person. We haven't really seen any evil actions by the Mastermind except the ones that she has just uncovered. And when Bobby Trey showed her that video, that was a gut punch. she was not expecting herself to be in that video. And
But
so
was she?
I mean, I don't think she was. I don't think she
know.
was. Maybe she was, but
But the whole thing is, no one takes her that seriously to the point of being able to really do some shit. Bobby Trey obviously thought that he was manipulating her, and we all can see she has been manipulating him to do hits in her name. Okay, right. We all were presented with the idea that the FBI boss was gonna ruin this woman's career if she didn't act right or clear herself. When in actuality, and we saw in the series, she was controlling him the whole damn time and didn't play that card until he tried to back her into a corner. There is a pattern in all of this, which is leading, I think, to a larger revelation as season 2. Because just like season 1, you think it's going this way, and it's like, oh, this is the real killer. Oh, no, it isn't. It's over here. It's more formulaic, but I'm enjoying this season.
No, it's fine. I mean, I binged it.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did.
So, and I won't not support it,
right?
Because it's worthy of support. It's not a bad show. I'm just saying it's not as Alex Cross. I was hoping, I think in season 1 and season 2, I was hoping for a bit more of Alex Cross being smart and cagey. And he had that one scene where he manipulated the racist in season 1. And I was like, this is Alex Cross. This is what I'm expecting. And then when he got outfoxed by the guy and exploded and lost his shit, I was like, well, this isn't Alex Cross that I know. And then this season, yes, he did figure out some stuff. He did pull a couple of things like, where have I seen that name before? Oh, it's a thing in Hollywood, Florida. And da-da-da-da-da. He put the pieces together. But except for the one time that he had a discussion with that one important character, and she played him, so he wasn't on top of it. He thought he was,
which to me is very Cross is very uncross-like, and correct. I think Cross is being manipulated as well. I think Cross. I think right now everyone is being manipulated.
But to your point, you think 2 people are manipulating Cross.
Wait. Has anyone? No one has realized Cross has been at the whim of every female character on the show. He's been at the whim of his off-again, on-again girlfriend who keeps him on a string and also is able to monitor his kids and his life. I don't think that's by mistake either. I'm not so sure about her character as well.
Well, her boyfriend certainly ain't like it.
Well, that's what I'm saying. We don't know how these characters
wasn't happy at all
because he knew. He knew.
He knew. So wait, so you doing what with his kids?
Yeah. Wait, you staying over to the house?
You had brunch with them.
I was waiting for the fuck.
Yeah,
it's very weird, right? Like, I mean, that whole concept, I can't even fundamentally imagine letting that happen.
Yeah. Well, and she let him hit.
Yes,
and let him hit.
Yeah, but that's just sex.
I feel you, Dr. Liz. I feel you, but this is not an ex-wife.
But I'm gonna tell you
this
though,
is a girlfriend.
Yeah, I get that. But the only reason why I can somewhat believe it is because
break it down.
Are you on episode 7, Liz?
Yes. Men have the propensity to let women just do things if they like them, and they'll just kind of take over, ransack their space.
It's called pussy.
I mean, Jesus Christ.
Well, but I'm just saying that they'll just let them, but they'll do it even if you're not having sex with them.
That's a crazy hot kill, Liz.
It still leads back to that.
They'll just let them take over, and then they'll pause and be like, okay, then she has to wake up and say, hey, yo, I'm doing too much. But on the other hand, at the end of the day, I was more stunned. I was even looking at, we haven't even seen the grandmother this season.
No, she must not have been available.
But I have a question. Hey, Tuala.
And she's the one who took care of the kids.
But that's why they had the girlfriend in.
Yes.
That was
I guess she's still recuperating from season 1.
Yeah.
But look, we know Cross has slept with the ex-girlfriend. He slept with his agent partner. You know he's thinking about sleeping with La Luz. after
No,
that
no,
conversation.
He's like, man, La Luz is kind of hot.
Kind of hot.
I mean, I think he has Kyla cockeyed. See what
Yeah.
I did?
Hey,
Yeah.
hey, that is gimmick infringement. You watch your mouth, Tom.
But all of them are playing them in their respective
That's
ways.
not your slogan, bitch.
I will sue your ass. I will sue the likeness off you.
I'm
my
giving you
God.
free publicity, bro.
Before we get out of here, and I'm so curious to hear about this film. There is a film on Netflix right now starring Alan Richard as a soldier fighting a new
Iron
gen
Giant.
alien predator thing, and he's taking off on a bunch of Marines. It is called what? War Machine. Now Mo hit the group up with the text last night, like, yo, y'all gotta check it out. And before I even pressed play, he was like, yo, I'm just playing. That shit was horrible. I just want y'all to watch it. What was so wrong with War Machine?
Okay, for those who don't know, it is set up like it's an actual just color by numbers, paint by numbers army movie. It kind of starts off like Full Metal Jacket. There's a part 1 and then there's a part 2.
Mm.
In this one, you have two brothers. They're in the military together, in the army, and you're in the throes of war. Something happens. They made a promise before the something happens. And so fulfilling the promise is the rest of the movie. And then it takes this turn where all of a sudden you're in a sci-fi movie. And it's like Predator meets RoboCop meets Sci-Fi Channel. That's the only way I can describe it.
Man, you hit him with the sci-fi.
That's a lot.
No.
A lot
The
going
movie
on.
was, the budget was 60 million and they spent 58 million on Alan Richardson. I am sure of it.
No.
Because
Wait a
there's
minute,
no
just
way
so I'm
he
clear.
did this movie unless it was like for a friend. It is god awful. It is abysmal. It is probably one of the worst movies I will have seen this year. And this is going to haunt this guy for the rest of his career because he won't be seen as a leading man, big screen action picture. Sorry, Alan. I love you. I love Reacher, but this did you no favors.
So wait a
Oh
minute.
man.
When you say
I
it's a
can't.
movie about two army brothers,
Yes.
you're talking about this or Reacher? Because Reacher
Yes.
is also
No.
two
And-
army
and I-
brothers.
And I said in the chat, this is basically a movie vehicle for Jack Reacher. It is because he's Reacher. He is
Right.
emotionally unavailable.
Wow.
You know, he's obviously, and everyone is looking at how he has this strange, mysterious background that nobody knows anything about. He doesn't have any connection to family. It's the exact motherfucking guy. It's Reacher.
Does he sleep with the robot before he goes off on his own to the next mission? Or
I'm not, look, all I'm saying is they did set it up for there to be a sequel. I'll tell you right now.
Okay.
Oh, and it's also very much Battle Los Angeles. If you've seen all those movies, you've seen
I
this
actually liked
movie.
Battle Los Angeles.
Battle Los Angeles.
I
was
did
good.
too, but this is not that. This
Okay.
is bullshit.
Damn.
Well, battle
Okay.
bullshit.
Okay.
Yeah,
Damn.
but I'm serious. When you see it, and also Battleship, all the movies we
wow.
had the military
Battleship.
fighting.
You taking it all the way back.
You can see all the elements. When you see that, it's like, oh, that's straight from Battleship. Oh, that's straight from Predator. Oh, that's straight from RoboCop. These are actual movies. You can see that this was influenced by, and it is horrible. We're talking like 4-minute monologues with the sappy music in the background, trying to swell to some great crescendo. It is bad. It is mocking the whole genre, and they don't even know it.
Wow.
That's what I'm talking about. Basic coding. It's if you said it was a favor, then Ice Cube was when he did War of the World, was that a bribe? Because that couldn't have been
Look.
a favor movie.
Well, put it this way:
Don't bring that up. Jesus.
Ice Cube. I think it was filmed during the pandemic, so
It
you're
was,
gonna
but
take
that
your
was a
checks
terrible
whenever they
movie.
come.
Mm.
So I fault him less because he's at the end of his movie career, not relatively at the
Dang.
beginning.
I think Cube is still trying.
No. But what I'm saying is he has a good 25 years of making movies since
Oh,
Friday.
yeah. Okay.
So I mean,
Okay.
so he has a bad movie. It's not a big deal. He's not going for the same types of projects as Alan Richardson. Richardson, if something like this bombs, then people will, I should say the industry will look at him differently. That's all.
So we have movie guy, and movie guy. I'm not sure which one you said was my good joke, but that's fine. He is asking about Oscar picks, and he's opining that Hamnet is
I hope
probably
not.
going to pick up some awards. Now, Hamnet did win an actor award for the lead female actor,
and it won the best picture.
Okay.
It won the best picture
at where?
at wasn't that just recently at the Globes? Yeah.
No,
No,
was that the actor awards? Was
It's
that
an
it?
actor, but actor awards don't do a best picture; they do a best cast.
No.
But there was maybe the PGA, maybe the director's guild.
DGA. It was DGA. That's what it is.
DGA?
Yeah, DGA.
Okay. You know, the person who did Hamnet is the person who did the movie I can't stand. The Avenger, the Marvel movie.
Was it
That
Chloe
narrows it
Zhao?
down.
Yeah, no. Let's see. Hamnet at the Golden Globes won Best Motion Picture Drama and Best Performance by Female Actor in a Motion Picture Drama.
No, but she just won. She just won again at the SAG Awards or the
Okay,
Actors
okay.
Awards, what they were
I was about to
saying.
say, no, all I was saying was Hamnet. Yeah,
Yeah.
Hamnet won a
Yeah, that was
Globe.
a while ago.
Okay.
It's the dude that we always say we don't know how. Thank you, movie guy. Eternals. And
Yeah,
so
that was Chloe Zhao.
when I
not
saw
a
that she
man.
did Eternals, I just knew I wasn't
But
gonna
didn't she
like the
win? She
movie.
won
I
an
did
Oscar
not
for
like
that
Hamnet
other
at
She's
all.
movie,
fine though.
Yeah, she won the Oscar before she did Eternals for the one.
for the Amazon movie.
Yeah, no. Chloe Zhao has been winning movies, which is she was an
Okay,
Oscar
I'm
winner
just
going
saying I
into
did not like
Eternals.
Eternals, and I
Oh,
definitely
yeah,
did not
Eternals
like
was bad.
Hamnet. That's my
That's fine.
point.
No,
Now,
I mean,
now the
look,
best, now that best
the
actress
Oscars,
woman.
they're not picking movies that's for us. That's not
Okay,
what
well,
the
the
Oscars is
best
about.
actress, I can tell you that if she wins, she win based on that one scene on her giving birth was traumatizing. Not as traumatizing as Game of Thrones, but it was traumatizing.
Well, you ought to look at Paradise season 2. They have
Look,
a similarly.
Now I have.
I know
need to
that we
start
have what
now that Cross is almost done and Hijack is done. I got to pick up Paradise.
Oscars is next week, correct?
Yep.
Next Sunday.
So
Next
I
Sunday?
hope he
All right, so
doesn't
yeah,
win.
so-
I
so,
hope
yeah,
our jerk person doesn't win.
We may have, depending on what time it's over and all that, we may be able to give a solid Oscars recap on that.
I
Even
don't-
though
I
to
think
me, look,
Shyamalan
to me,
and King Kong is out.
to me, I don't care about the Oscars. To me, F the Oscars. Fuck the Oscars.
Thank you, Twala.
I'm just, and really and truly, I'm honestly of the opinion that I'm just like, fuck all these award shows. I really don't care about
Well,
these
let me-
award
can I-
shows
hold
are
on,
just not
hold
for
on.
us.
Okay,
And
well,
when I
let me
say
pause
us,
it right
they're
there.
not for us as film goers and
I
fans
hear
of film.
you.
That's not what the Oscars are for, or any
But
award
home,
shows are
but
for.
but the young man from Sinners, my gosh, he is getting the best glow up from this movie. I cannot wait to see what his project is. When he did his singing selection at the last week's the SAG
Yeah.
Awards, when I tell you he has such a beautiful voice. And
Yeah.
I just can't wait to see what
I mean, and fortunately,
what he does.
not fortunately, hopefully, he doesn't need look just like recently Ryan Coogler, he was asked about his thoughts on the Oscars and whether he wins or not, and his response was, all respect due to the Oscars, but I personally don't really care. My award is getting and being able to do movie and film projects. I've got movies lined up. I've got television projects lined up. And that's my award and reward. Being able to put people to work, being able to cover people's healthcare plans, put money in their pocket, above the line and below the line. That's my award and reward for anything that I do. Being nominated for something, that's cool, but that's not my goal. Even being
That's
invited
fine.
to these places is cool, but he said I read it as him saying, for me as a black man, I can't base my career on these awards, and you can't, because they don't care about us black folks. They
Okay,
just
that's
don't
fine.
care. They
But
really
Michael
don't.
B.
I don't
Jordan's
disagree.
response when he won was a very moving response.
everyone like
And people
and every one
do,
of his
it does
responses have been
matter.
moving. I mean, that's great, but I'm saying it's great that he's been acknowledged, and I'm happy for him getting these awards, but you know, he's been acting for a while. He's been turning in great performances for a while. You know, so to be
I
not
am
to be recognized now, I'm like, that's great. That to me, I'm kind of just over looking for praise, or for, you know, Black folks looking for praise from these award shows.
I'm not, it's for me, it's not a matter of looking for praise. I am going to watch because I am looking forward to Ryan Coogler getting Best Adapted Screenplay or Best Original Screenplay. That's what I'm looking for. I don't so much care about the politics of what a Best Picture would be. I don't so much care about the politics of the Best Director. I don't.
Mhm.
But I think Best Original Screenplay is his to lose.
Mhm.
And I think he will get it. And I think he's collecting a lot of awards this season for this cinematic achievement. And if he is awarded by the entire industry, I mean, the NAACP, his people awards, the Black People Awards, they got everything. And so
Mhm.
fine. So, but if the industry as a whole recognizes his achievement beyond the box office success, beyond the fact, like to your point, he has film after film and TV after TV project lined up and all of that. So yes, they are recognizing him in that way. But if everybody says this is the guy, kind of like how Moonlight had that surprise win for Best Picture, and I think Moonlight's a great movie, I was just surprised, and I was glad that also a Black writer won that year. And so that's what I'm there for. It would be great if Miles he probably will get a performance of his song because it's his song that was nominated. I don't know if Best Song is coming their way, but if he gets Best Original Screenplay, and it now seems that maybe Michael is maybe a front runner, maybe, because of the SAG Awards, and that's the voting population that votes on it. So, you know, maybe he actually will get it, and that would be a great night for me because I am such a fan of the film. But other than that, I will say, after I watched Cross, because Cross, there's one episode left, one of the things that popped up was I'm Gonna Get You Sucker. And I was telling you in the chat that there are all these surprises. Do you know who did costumes for I'm Gonna Get You Sucker? Oscar winner Ruth Carter.
That had
Are
been
you
like
serious?
very, very early in her career.
It was
Wow.
1989, and she was the costume person for I'm Gonna Get You Sucker. And I was saying
Wow.
the little girl who plays Clarence Williams III's daughter by Eve Plum from the Brady
Mhm.
Bunch, that's the girl who went on to be the granddaughter in Jurassic Park.
Wow.
Yes, the one who was eating the Jello and holding it like this. She is
Yeah.
in I'm Gonna Get You Sucker. So I mean, it was just like, oh my gosh, I can't believe
Wow.
all of this stuff I'm seeing, and just to remember all of the funny gags and some of the stuff that was the Wayans. Well, especially Keenan. Keenan is actually one of the worst actors in that movie, but everybody else, Janae Dubois, however she pronounces it, you didn't get much out of Walona. Let me tell you, she is a character actor. She was killing the game in this movie. Bernie Casey, Pitch Perfect.
Bernie
I mean,
Casey,
this
Isaac
is
Hayes. I mean, look,
Isaac Hayes,
Jim Brown.
Jim Brown.
Yeah.
This movie
Big
had so
Oh my
much
God.
in it. The Pimp of the Year with
Antonio
Bitch Better Have My
Fargas.
Money poem that
Yeah.
spawned a whole ass song. I
Yep.
mean, man, this movie was firing on so
I
it was
tell you, like
funny
folks,
ass
a
movie.
lot of folks don't know. I guess some of my quotes when I'll like when especially when I call out like different quote unquote revolutionaries, I say, and I always tell people like I'll just hashtag they went in with guns and came out with jobs. Like
Right.
that film called them out. I was like, so many quotables in that film. Yes, I'm Gonna Get You Sucker. Absolute classic.
I know
Absolute classic.
we're going too long, but Barack does present a point. And I think my summation of all of this is timing and money. There's a lot of movement behind Ryan Coogler already before Sinners came out. He's kind of broken through a lot of barriers and made a billion-dollar movie first off. And so I think that it's hard for me to make a good solid comparison between Moonlight winning an Oscar and Sinners Coogler winning an Oscar.
Yeah, the Coogler has been the exception when it comes to even award-winning period, because he is a machine when it comes to putting out good product. Most every other thing we've seen that was a Black property that's come to the Oscars and has won anything, we have not seen anything from anyone. We just haven't. We just have not seen people go on to do just great things because of the Oscars. When it comes to Black folks, that's just not how it works.
Well, except for Ruth Carter.
I mean, Ruth Carter, but see, Ruth Carter, as you noted, she's been doing it for years.
Correct.
She's been, and you know, her getting recognized right now. She's like, man, this is cool, but I've been at this like
almost
over
constant.
2 decades. You know, say I've been at this is 30 years in the game. I'm finally getting my props due. But after 30 years, you know, it's like one of those,
Ryan
like,
Coogler stays using her too.
Yeah, no, and
I don't think he'll ever stop using Ruth.
I'm saying if Ryan Coogler and no one from the film walks away with anything, and Hamnet and Frankenstein and everything else wins all the awards, great. All I will say is, yeah, this is why I don't watch the Oscars. The Oscars does not give a fuck about things that are actually good. It's a very close-knit, tight community that cares about the things that they care about, and it's always been that way. You know, we may like seeing stars doing X, Y, and Z, but we're in a world of social media. We see stars online all the time now. So even showing up at the Oscars isn't even a thing anymore. We used to be starved to see stars doing anything that was outside of their films. That's why it was interesting seeing them in these award shows. But now the stars are online all the time. They're protesting something, they're promoting something, they're talking about something. Stars are everywhere, you know? So that's why I'm like, Oscars, Sposkers. I don't know. But we have gone on an extremely long time, and I know Brother McBain's got to kick rocks. So hopefully we will be able to do a Oscars recap next week, and whatever it will be, make sure you tune in with us to check it out. Till then, Dr. Liz, take us out.
Good night, everyone.
Mo Kelly.
Multipass.
McBain.
Cockeyed. Wednesdays at 9.
Hell yeah. Cutting hell.
Where is my light skin suit?
Excelsior.